Okay, I'm a foreigner. I cannot pronounce ambient. I'm gonna say night lighting. One of the most disappointing things about owning a Tesla Model Y Performance is a lack of night lighting. There are no accent lights or anything. Yes, you have switches that are illuminated, but that's pretty much it. So I decided to come up with a solution because I know obviously Tesla will not address it anytime soon. And that solution is this kit that I purchased on Amazon. Obviously, I'm going to link it down in the description. It had fantastic reviews. I haven't installed it yet, so we're going to learn on screen how easy or difficult the install is, what it requires, and how it's going to look and work afterwards. So I'm very excited, and I hope you are excited as well. By the way, check out my new Christmas slippers. Anyways, the kit comes with this 3M tape. I thought it would be already pre-applied, but I guess it's not. And some adhesive stuff here and some zip ties. So the instructions call for me to put a double-sided tape here and stick it to the bottom of this trim, which means I would never be able to really position it straight. It would kind of be wavy. But what I'm thinking is, if I remove actually this trim, I'll be able to stick it in this hole and hopefully wedge it in there for a nice and sort of more OEM fit and finish. And I'm using the provided spatula. You basically pop it open. There we go. And apparently it's as easy as just lifting this whole thing up. There we go. This is it. Look at this, people. This is the panel. So here's the idea. Instead of me sticking this thing on top of the dash here, which will look kind of goofy, I figured I might as well stick it into this crevice here. And here, I got it started over here. You basically separate this piece of wood from the trim, and you have to get this type of a tool. So you spread it, you kind of wedge it across, and you want to do it all the way down. At least that's the idea. That's how I'm going to do it. And I think that's going to give me sort of the added effect that I wanted. So this is what I'm doing. I'm essentially just wedging this thing with a screwdriver inch by inch, and it just makes things a lot easier when you have a screwdriver and you just sort of push it a little bit by little bit than using some sort of a trim tool. You see, you just got to be patient and stick it into this crevice. And the idea is, you see, to have this sort of nice and straight line on top of the dash that's sort of hidden, and it's not gonna draw any attention as you're driving. Okay, so this is what it is. It sits just like that. You see, it's wedged in here. This is how I sort of twisted it in the corner. I'm gonna cut it after I install it back in the dash, just so I can figure out the length and everything else. And installing it in the dash should be pretty straightforward, because apparently you just place it back in. Let me start from the other side. Should line up. Kind of like a BMW. So next, this is the thing that lights up this tube, and the idea is you basically cut it wherever you feel like you want to cut it, and you connect it here, and it's going to light up this whole tube. So what I want to do is I want to hide it somewhere in here. There's definitely room to stick this thing in there, and then make this as inconspicuous as possible. I always like to measure once and cut 3 times, and then you take this tube, see there's a little hole in there, and you simply put it inside, screw this little plastic screw. Oh, so check this out. In order for this cover to fit properly, you see I trimmed this corner. It used to be like that. Now it's like this, so we can accommodate this little extra tube over here. And now what we can do is we can take this wire and route it underneath the glove box. And you see, you can actually see part of my radar detector wire. So you want to kind of sneak it in here, make it turn and go under here, under here, under here. And then, oh, this one actually is popping out. And then go into the glove compartment. And once you tuck it under here and you get to this area, you spread this trim and take this end piece and put it in from the bottom. You basically want to snake it in. When in doubt, use a screwdriver. Check this out. Oh yeah. We're gonna spool it like this. and this section is now done. Then you've got the same tube that you're going to put around this trim here, and that's actually super simple. Check this out. It just goes in, and this one I think is going to be quite cool. Yeah, you just push it into this wedge, but I think this one's going to give you the most of an accent, and it's not going to be very obnoxious because it's sort of down here, and it, you know, kind of looks OEM-ish. So you just stick it into this little crevice. You can help yourself with this trim tool, especially here on the edges, but then outside of the edges, you see, it simply just goes in. And then the beauty of this one is, this is your end piece, so you can finish it here, and you can have this tube go inside, and it's going to be out of sight and out of mind. And then you take the flashlight piece, I guess that's what you call it. You unscrew the little plastic screw, you stick it inside, tighten the screw. We'll plug this in here. Okay, so with the Footwell pieces, you have these two LED strips, and the idea is to put them under the Footwell. Okay, so check this out. Upon further inspection, this trim simply just pops out, which will allow me to take this side of the light and just basically snake it under. So snake it under, and then we're gonna pop it back in. There we go. And now I have this on this side. Okay, so I routed the cable this way. The only visible piece is here, and then the cable goes under the seat, and check this out. There's a little flat surface here under the seat, and I'm gonna put this light here on this double-sided tape, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and we are done with the actual install section of this video. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that everything works before we start setting up the app and everything. And to do that, we have to turn off the lights. Ooh, spooky. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh man, look at this. Oh man. Okay, so I definitely have to, it seems like I have to adjust that corner. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I'm gonna have to take a video with my cell phone, but look at this. Oh man, this is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. We're almost done, I promise. And next thing you do is, on this box inside, you have a QR code, you scan it, it takes you to an app store, and it makes you install an app. So we're gonna set up this app. So everything is controlled with this app. Obviously, you can't really see it during the day. But what color, you know, we want blue. The Tesla is blue. We want the color to be blue, 100% brightness. There you go, this is all blue now. So the app has been set up. That's pretty straightforward. Obviously, I will probably want to clean up the cables underneath my elbow rest. Check out my cool slippers again. But so far so good. I'm gonna show you a couple of clips with the GoPro, then I'm gonna use my phone to show it to you. But I'm gonna say, until Tesla comes up with a solution, this is not bad at all. So I discovered that this kit, even though it looks fine and the app control is awesome, has one major flaw, and that major flaw is the fact that it either always stays on, or you have to flick it on with a switch, and that is just too annoying, too non-OEM. And because of that, I'm gonna have to remove it. As much as I like the way it looks when it's on, there's no way I'm gonna bother turning it on when I'm driving. It just doesn't feel like something a premium vehicle driver should be doing. So my wife actually confirmed the same thing. I called her over to show her the thing, and she's like, "Oh, this is so cool." And then I told her that she has to turn it on at night. She was very turned off. So we're gonna have to remove it, starting with this, but removal is gonna be quite quick. Check this out. Isn't this sad? I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. You probably think I'm really crazy and nuts, but I'm very particular about my my upgrades, I want them to be as OEM as possible, and this is just not cutting it. I'm not gonna bother returning it, because obviously I used it, I cut it up. I'm not gonna bother selling it because no one's gonna buy it, especially not after watching this video. But to those who don't mind flicking the switch, it's fine. But for me, it just doesn't make sense. So on that terrible disappointment, I'm gonna end. And once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you hopefully in the next video. Bye bye.